So I don't usually play on official, but I decided today I'm going to try and do some official. I typically am very hesitant to do official because of the pillar spamming, the lag, and just the overall grind, which I don't have time for usually. But since right now I'm between jobs, I figured give it a chance. See, this is what I'm talking about here. This right here. It's like big old giant pulls, and you got that guy right there messing with me. But anyway, big old giant little pillars here, just sitting here. No reason except people just don't want you building next to them. Kind of crazy. This is why I actually run my own cluster. But I like coming on official occasionally just to, have a little grind. Um, now I'm looking for a place to build. I'm getting some thatch so I can start my thatch base. Been playing ARK for a few years now, and usually I start out by getting myself my materials while I'm looking for somewhere that ain't got a million pillars everywhere. This is actually not that bad. I've seen, this is the island obviously. I've seen clusters that I've been on and servers I've been on where literally you can't go 2 feet without running into a building of some sort. But it's actually not too bad here. I'm going over here to see if I can just find a spot. I think I found something. There's another pillar just sitting there. Somebody's like, oh, nope, I don't want you building near me. Which I get. I mean, you want your space and all that, but the way I look at it is, you got, servers with caps of around 70 to 100. You gotta make sure everybody has room to build and play ARK. You know, can't just take up, I mean, having a big building is fine, but taking up an entire island just because you don't want no one else building there is kind of ridiculous. And it's not like the servers came out and they're like, oh, I'm gonna build this area so I can build here later. This server has been out, it's been on for probably months. Probably definitely long enough for them to come back and build something there. They're not gonna come back and build anything. They just don't want you building near them. Again, like I said, I understand, but still, it's just a pet peeve of mine. One of the reasons why I went and decided to pay for my own server so I could have a cluster where I have to deal with all that. I think this might be an area I can build if I get rid of these rocks. There might be enough space between these two pillared areas where I'm facing and the one behind me. Might have enough room on in between these two areas that I can actually build. We're gonna find out as soon as I get these to despawn. Now that I've destroyed them. You might be wondering why I am hacking with um, a pick. Well, because first of all, you get more thatch that way. Second of all, if I start hacking with a hatchet, I'm not gonna have any room to do any um not gonna have any room to hold anything. I'm gonna be capped out with weight before I know it. I mean, you can look at my weight right now. It's already just with flint, just with mainly flint and thatch. I'm already at 70 weight, so I'm soon going to be encumbered. If I was trying this um, with using my hatchet, sheesh, got my foundation, get me sleeping, unlock the sleeping bag. Now I can at least make the foundations. So I'm going to go to inventory here, go to crafting. And how many can I make? I can make 3. That'll at least get me some weight off of me so that I can gather some more resources, get my levels up so I can build my walls and my ceilings. Just looking to build something big enough that I can have a place to put my character while I go out and do ARK things. Let's see, okay, that's all I can do for now. Go over here back to my inventory. And see, no, I cannot build here. So we're going to go up here a little bit just to see if I can build it more inland. Oh, that's why, because there's a big old giant building sitting there. Okay, let's go back down this way. Now I need to find me a place I can build before I can do any more gathering because I've already got get some food before I get hungry. My hunger's starting to go down. Let's see. I don't like doing the tennel berries right here because, or stem berries, I mean, because make you thirsty. So I usually do meadow berries, tennel berries, these, even marberries, all the ones. Other ones are fine, but the ones that are the white ones, they tend to make you really thirsty. They don't tend to give you very much sustenance either. So you give you give you stamina, but they're good to hold on to in case you run out of stamina and you need some. Which I usually don't even use them, honestly. It's maybe that's something that because I don't play unofficial. I don't play unofficial. My unofficial server is pretty boosted, so I usually don't even have an issue with lag. Lag is crazy. I don't usually have an issue with getting thirsty because my my water level is usually pretty high. If I'm thirsty, it's thirsty or hungry. It's very often. Big base right here. I'm trying to get around. I can see an area on the other side of this that might be buildable. We're gonna find out here in a second. As soon as I can get around all this. It, that would be a problem right there. You get a spear so I can try and defend myself. If if I have to. Oh shoot, here he comes. Nope, I'm dead. Yep. Kind of hard to defend yourself when you're that new. When your character's that new in the level. Plug in controllers. Die. It doesn't die on me. Spawn there and see if I can get my bag. Nope, it's too far. We're gonna start over again, I guess, because there's no way I'm gonna deal with all that for just a little bit. I'm gonna respawn in a different spot. Just trying to. So I'm gonna go over here. Let's see if I got things over here. Probably not gonna find nothing in the green zone, which is hard because you're trying to start. Starting over. Oh, good! I spawned underneath someone's base. That's interesting. Definitely won't find a place to build over here. That I can guarantee you. I don't really want to spawn in a hard medium zone if I don't have to, because getting started over there is going to be a pain in the ass. I'm going to have to re-eat my implant. Alright, let's try over. We'll go over this way. Let's see what's over there. Typically, people don't have too many builds that are newer in these areas because it's a lot harder to get started. As you're going to see, I'm probably going to run into something that's going to try and kill me. It'll probably succeed because I don't have very much health or levels or anything to defend myself with right now. Fiber and some berries so that I can get levels this way, but when I get hungry, I'll have what I need. Another thing in health. Let's see here, the storage box. Get out of there. Get away from all that. Oh shoot, I wandered into a bad area. Away from the raptor and found myself in about to be eaten by an alligator. Makes this game fun though. It's always a challenge, and especially starting out new, it can take all day just to get started. And I'm gonna die again. This is what starting new in ARK is like. You die a lot. It's trying to kill me. I'm gonna end up dying probably. I don't have any stamina to run away yet. I should get my health up to level 200 before I start leveling anything else up, just because you want to have a fighting chance. Something that can one shot you is gonna make get started kind of hard. So if you have around 200 at least, 2 to 300 health, you stand a chance of not getting killed right away all the time. That's my logic of it all. I might be mistaken. I don't know. People probably have different reasons for doing things, different ways of doing things. I'm definitely not the best ARK player. I just enjoy playing and having fun. It's a game that I've pretty much started playing exclusively because, first of all, it takes so long to do anything in ARK. There's not time for much else. And second of all, it's just a lot of fun and pretty much endless content. If you've never played this game before, you happen upon this video, this is a game that will definitely take over everything. You definitely will not have time to do anything else. So if you think, oh, I'll jump on ARK and I'll be able to have time to do other things, not if you play it and want to get anywhere quickly. Quickly is a kind of misnomer there, because nothing in ARK ever happens quickly. So when I say quickly, I don't mean actually quickly, because it's not happening. You don't quickly do anything in ARK. ARK is a game where you're going to die a lot and you're going to struggle a lot, especially when you first start. I remember when I first started, I played on ASC, and a friend of mine who taught me how to play this game, she pretty much told me the basics and told me to practice a lot. And so I started practicing, and I spawned in single player on Ragnarok and died probably 100 times the first day. Oh, I'll go in these hard areas, the red zones, and I'll be all right. Come to find out, no, you won't be. Trying to get over that area there without dying. I might die just there falling, but apparently I had enough health to handle a fall. Yeah, my plan is to make these videos every day. Do little videos on my progress on the island, which is where I'm at now, and to see just progress way through it, through all the bosses and stuff, and through the island and aberration and all them. I've done them before on my server, my cluster, which I have, which is Great Paradise. If you wanna, got a raptor there about to try and come and eat me, so I'm gonna run a little bit. But if you want to come and join it, it's heavily boosted. So if you're people that like the grind of official, that would not be a server for you. Guarantee you will not like it. A lot of people join it and be like, oh, this is easy, too easy. And I go, yeah, it's kind of what it's meant to be. I didn't create the cluster for people who like the grind. I created it for people who have jobs and lives outside of ARK, who just want to enjoy the game without having to do the endless grinding. Because I know I didn't have time to do all that grinding. And so I learned that really quickly. Give me some water. Trying to there we go. Yeah, this area because I'm kind of in a swamp area, which is a bad area to be in if you are trying to start because you will die. Oh shoot. Yeah, I'm gonna die right now. I was trying to get out of here before I got hit, but I needed some water. That's why I went over there. Yeah, I have a great paradise cluster, heavily boosted, like I was saying, and it is not for everybody. But if you're someone who likes to have a place to play where you can know that basically you can enjoy the game without having to do anything crazy, um, without having to sit there and wait all day for something to raise or all day for a team to reach a certain amount of maturity or whatever it is, then baryonyx, those are great ones to get once you get in the game and you get started. They'll tame me one of those. They're great for underwater exploring. They're great for running caves. We're gonna go up here, right here. They're great for overall exploration of the game, and really good in caves. They'll take care of caves really easily. Small enough to fit through a lot of tight spaces, but very strong. Having some lag right now. Lovely. Gotta love the lag. Trying to see where I'm at on this map. But yeah, this is a game that can definitely be grinding at times, and not a lot of people have the time for that grind. I know I certainly don't. Or I didn't before I ended up in a transition period work-wise. That's why I'm doing this videos, and I'm gonna start streaming once I get enough people following me. I'll be streaming then, and just gonna have some fun with this until while I see what's next. I love playing ARK, and I really, honestly, don't play nothing else. I should tell you how much I like this game. Because I don't play nothing else. To me, there's no point. No other game really has what this game has in it. This game is pretty much the only game that has as much in it as this one does. I mean, you can sit there and play, I don't care what game it is, and you'll run out of content, I guarantee you, long before you run out of content in this game. The only issue I've ever heard this game people having with this game is they have an issue with the bugs and stuff, which there are a lot of bugs. I will tell you. I had one yesterday where I forgot to turn off dynamic uh, the dynamic cosmetic downloads. I'll show you where that is. It right here. This thing right here. If you have this off and you're on a server, you will start downloading all the cosmetics that you run into in the game. And if you don't turn that off, you will. If you're on console, which I'm playing on right now, if you're on console, you will start. You will notice a significant amount of uh, space being used up. And if you use up all your mod space, the system, especially on PS5. I don't know about Xbox. I don't play Xbox. I personally don't really like Xbox. But for you who like Xbox, that's fine. But it's not for me. The people that play it, they often tell me they have the same problem. And it is that it'll say, you have no mod space available. Even though I had 5 GB still left. But because of that cosmetic downloads not being disabled, I ended up having to reinstall the entire game. Had to uninstall it, do that. So, you have to uninstall. You have to, that's what's happening there. Let me get away from you guys. Oh, shoot. Bronto one hit me just about. See, that's why I level up my health. Because I just got almost one hit by a Bronto. Not because it was trying to kill me, but because it was trying to fight this other thing that's trying to kill it right now. At any rate, you have to uninstall the game, clear your cache, and then reinstall it, and then reinstall all your mods again. And I have a crap ton of mods. I have probably close to 50 mods on downloaded currently. What would be a lot more if I had if I didn't have a 30 GB limit on my system. But because I have a 30 GB limit on my system, I'm limited to what the mods are. I really love having cosmetic mods. I'll show you real quick how many cosmetic mods I got. See this right here? Kind of hard on console to do that. PC it's a lot easier. You just scroll down, but on console it's harder. But yeah, you can see I have tons of cosmetic mods on here. So again, I have ones that I have bought that I can't use, that I'm not using right now because I don't have the space for them all the time. So I have them there. Occasionally I get the desire to have a different cosmetic on certain building. And so I will take off one of the ones I have currently and I'll put that one on. There is a really cool mod coming up for those of you that like cosmetics called Tribal. It's in the wild card, passes it through their certification thing, approval process. It's coming out. It's a chunky mod, so I'm holding on. I'm going to be getting rid of some of these cosmetics once that comes out because it's going to take up, guy says, about 4 GB on console. One of the reasons I got me a PC was so that I didn't have to, so that I didn't have to deal with the mod limitations. Because you're not allowed, I died again. Because you're not allowed to have more than 30 GB, so I have to get rid of some stuff all the time whenever I want to have more mod space. We're going to try this area up here. I know I'm about to die here too. What I'm trying to do is get an idea of the map, so I know where I'm going because I have a horrible memory, and so there's no way I'm memorizing where everything is at. It's just not. I am not going to be able to memorize where everything is at. I'm about to die here quickly because it's so cold. And the island is a map where if you one of the maps, some maps you can be in the cold and you'll survive for a little bit. Put some stuff in the fortitude and you'll be fine. But the island is kind of similar. The island snow biome I think is similar to the Ragnarok snow biome. You will not survive. I think Rag's a lot worse, but it's similar in the sense that you will not survive very long as a new character out in the snow biome. But I'm trying to hop around this map mainly to show anyone who has never been on the map, played ARK, who would like to play ARK, kind of what you're looking at, so that you can see what not to do. Which in this, I'm just doing this just to kind of get around. Eventually, I'm going to get to where I want to get to, and I am going to be able to get my base started. Yeah, I knew it was gonna happen. I got in the water specifically for that reason because I wanted it to kill me because I'm trying to get I can't really remember where I'm supposed to be going because then I don't really memorize the map. I always have to look at it and go, where is that again? I think I know where I'm at right now. I never remember I was on this map for a whole year on my unofficial cluster, getting ready for the boss fight. Yep. See, this is usually where I build, not this area exactly, but around here. And I'm hoping that where I usually build my base at is open. I doubt it is because it's probably a pretty popular spot. I've never really played an official just because, like I said, the grind is bad and I had a 40-hour work job where I didn't really have time to sit there and grind official because I wasn't off on the weekends, so I really didn't get a chance to do the 2x. It is 2x right now on a Sunday, and so I'm able to enjoy the 2x while I'm doing this. I plan on doing this yesterday, but I ran into that bug where I ran out of. They said I was out of mod space. I had to reinstall everything, which took a few hours. And by the time I got up and going again, ready to play again, it was um, like 2 a.m. my time, so I had to get to bed so I can get up today and take care of stuff. Yeah, see this area here. This is actually not where I'm going to be building at, but this is good. This is just to show you how popular of an area this is. People build over here, but like building on the beach, which I like it too. Unfortunately, unofficial, if you don't get out right away, the beach is usually already taken up. So I think I'm probably going to have to go inland to get me a base spot. I'm not going to build a very big one at first. I just need something that's big enough that I can put a small little base on there. But you can always make it as tall as you want, pretty much. I mean, there's a limit, but it's not a very big limit. You pretty much have pretty good long ways before you're gonna hit that limit. I never knew what these decor boxes were for. Then I started getting into the game of the cosmetics, and I learned something. Those things, I don't use these that often, especially not when I first started out, so I don't unlock them. I always leave those alone because I really don't see a point in them. I don't do the slingshot. I'm not very good with it. I don't tame Phiomias. Don't use the preserving salt. I don't make the clay structures because adobe structures, which is what you use the clay for, because adobe is really hard to make early game, and by the time I could make it, stone is just as good, unless of course you're living in the, I believe it's the like scorched earth type thing. Then it'd be good. You guys are good to kill late when you get strong enough because they'll give you keratin, um, or chitlin, one or two, and you'll need those, especially if you're going to make a PT saddle, pterodon, saddle. But back to this. So I do use motor and paste though. You need that to make a lot of different things. So now we're going to keep going. I noticed there's a level to do, so I can use a level so that I can unlock some more stuff. This area is generally safe. It is listed as a medium to hard area because it's so close to the snow. And you will see some things around here that will kill you, like raptors, and you will find diplolos, and you will find dino, dinotheriums, which, if you don't know about them guys, are big old giant elephants. And unlike the mammoths that look similar to them, that's a neat base right there. Pretty cool. I like some of the builds people do on official. I don't know how people build the 3 bases on official. I've never been able to. I never stuck around long enough to do it. But this time, my plan is to play this, do this playthrough unofficial all the way through. You know, eventually it's going to take a while because it's official, and I'm only going to be doing this for a little bit every day. Because I got my own unofficial server. I probably will make a video on that today too, just so those of you who watch this video, if you want to know what my server is like and how boosted it is, you can see. Like I said, I will tell you, it is pretty dang boosted. We are going to open up a server. One of the maps, we're going to turn it into a overhaul rotational map that's going to be way less boosted. It'd be a lot more difficult than what I have currently. What I have currently is pretty much easy mode. But like I said, it's that way because I had a full-time job, and other people that play on my server with me, my cluster with me, have full-time jobs or things that keep them from being able to play on ARK all day long. And so for them, I have created a cluster that will allow them to die again. Fine. Trying to grind this big ass base. But I've created a cluster for those people that play with me that play with me on my cluster, so that they have a place that they can play and enjoy the game without having to do the grind that is official. Let's see where it spawned. All right. Wait, I like that. See, this is what cosmetics can do for you. That is not an actual tree. That's probably a deco box or something. But I'm playing solo on here. I never really had a actual tribe. Even the people I play with on my cluster, we all were in a tribe, but we all kind of do our own thing. They don't play as much as I do because they both got stuff they gotta do, and they don't have time to play like I do. I can literally play all day long without a problem. Right now, especially because I'm not working right now, so I have all day long to play. We're about to do this again. This time, I think I'm going to go this way. See how I can do in the water. Maybe I have a half a chance. Might have to do is get me a boat. Get myself set up some more. I can make me a boat. And then go around on my boat. This thing's about to kill me, I'm pretty sure. And that could be a tame, but I doubt it. Occasionally I know people, I don't do it on my cluster, but I know some people do put their tames on Wander. And I'm either going to die to a fish, or I'm going to die because I'm drowning because I'm ran out of stamina. I think I'm gonna make me a boat and then get in the boat and see if I can't make it to where I'm trying to get to on a boat. That might be a much better way of doing this because it's definitely looking like it's going to be next to impossible to get started where I want to get started at unless I make me a boat or something. So I think see I'm way too close to all this stuff. So we're going to go ahead and going to make me what I need to make me to get me a boat going. It's like I gotta get to the level where I can unlock the boat, but while I'm working on that, I wonder if its mama is alive still. Yep, its mama's still alive. Usually, for those of you who don't know, usually if its mama's alive or dead, you can where you at? Let's see if I can kill this thing. That way. We're gonna try and kill it. We can kill it. Nope, I died. Let's try this again. This is probably the best way for me to do because the worst I gotta deal with is those Diplo things. And if that's the worst I gotta deal with, then that's not that bad. Bad in these compies. Compies can be a pain in the ass, but the good thing about compies is once you get your health good enough, they typically easy to kill. Of course, I need more health and more melee to do that. But I'm determined to make this work over here. Where am I at now? Where did it drop me at? Somewhere way, way different. Oh, okay. Got some trees here. We're gonna get some tools made. I'm not going with my bags because there's nothing in my bag that is good enough that I'm worried about losing right now. Really not. Okay, now that I do that, go over here and get some stone. See if we can. I'm with all these pillars and buildings everywhere. It's going to be difficult to get me a piece of stone. I need a stone though to make my hatchet and my pickaxe. Well, to make my hatchet, I need a flint, but I can't get any flint either until I have some stone. So I have my pickaxe. There we go. This piece of stone. All right. Now we are going to. No, I don't. Okay. I was just seeing if I had forgotten to do my Ingram unlocks. All right. So there is my pick. Once it's made, you're going to go over here. You're going to find a rock. Here's a rock. Sometimes you'll find a rock and it'll be a fake rock. In this case, though, it was a real rock, so that's good. All right. Break the other one up too. Got me some. Get me some flint and some stone so I can make my. Yep, right there. Go down here to see that. We need spark powder so we can make ammunition, other stuff like that later on. Let's see here. That quarter. I don't do the quarter walls. They're cool. The spyglass is a genius. That's helpful. Don't need to do the paintbrush too often. Boomerang, I've heard boomerang's useful when you're trying to um, knock stuff out, but I prefer using a club for like a parasaur, or if I'm gonna knock out a PT, then I will get me a whatchamacallit, bow and some arrows, and I'll knock it out that way because to me it's just faster. Goal here is to get to where I'm gonna make my base axe. I think I'm gonna be looking a while before I can get me a base. So I need to get me a little raft so I can traverse the water because all these bases around. Either gonna have to go way inland to get around them, or I'm gonna have to go in the water. And as you've seen, neither way is a very good option. So that's the plan. We will find out here shortly if it will work. Usually it works. It's how I usually do it on my own cluster. It's a lot faster on my cluster because, like I said, it's boosted, so levels are a lot faster. Gatherings a lot faster. Usually, the hardest thing isn't as boosted, I don't think, as the level stats and the dino grading is, but I think it's still boosted. Okay. Alrighty then, here we go. Now I'm just trying to level up my character. Do I have any food? I'm hungry now. give a little bit of food. Got that done. I don't think I'm able to place anything down here. That's the problem I run into is I need to put storage, like a foundation down, so I can put a storage box down. I don't think I don't have enough yet for a storage box. I need some fiber. Okay, let's try it now. Alright, so decor box, storage box. We're gonna try and do put one down, but I already got it for a couple reasons. One, how close that base is. Two, I think you need a foundation before you can set one down. Yep, I need a. No, it says I can. Doesn't say I can necessarily. It says it's too close to everything. We're going to. I think we're gonna have to go. And get some more food. Believe it or not, this is the part of the game I love the most because it is the part of the game that is the hardest. For me, anyway. I've never been um, one that once the grind is over, it's not fun, but it's not as much fun. It's very it gets very monotonous once you get all the stuff done, and you're just basically progressing. You're already at tech tier, and you know it gets to the point sometimes where I'm just like, oh, okay. But you have to do the things because if you don't, you can't progress further. And then you end up in a situation where you're not doing anything. One thing I think I like about the progression in ARK is that it's very rewarding. All this stuff I have to do now, there's actually a point to it all. In some games I played, there's like no point in it. It's like, okay, doing all this stuff, but why? Why am I doing all this stuff? What's the point? You know, don't really see the point in a lot of the games of doing everything because it's just like, okay. ARK, I like it because they put you in a thing and they say, okay, figure it out. And you got this. Sometimes you can, and then sometimes you can't. They must have got like a bunch. They must be doing a bunch of boss runs to get this much tech, to get this much element, enough element to make this much tech. My goodness, they have like a whole crap ton of. I mean, look at this. It's like, oh, I don't think they're done yet either. Either done and they abandoned it. Now how long has it been since they were just on a couple of days ago because their timer's at 19. I think you have 20 days for tech before it decays. They've been they've been on recently. Okay, let's look here. This park's still not far enough away. No, it's got that thing right there, way too close to it. Might have found a way around it finally. Maybe. Maybe. Yep, this is the area I was trying to build in. It's probably not gonna work. I'm gonna go down here though and see if there is a spot I can build over here. And there's a lag right here. Yeah, see, there's literally nowhere over here I can build. All this stuff being built. These are the Gothic structures. They're really cool. I like these. I like big buildings and big bases because they're pretty cool. But I just wish that they would consider people who are trying to start out, you know, who don't have the ability like me to go and have their own cluster. Not everybody can do that. And so a lot of times it's just like, whoa, how are you going to start? But I will find a way to start up on this. It might take me a minute to get situated and everything. Because I'm gonna have to um, I'm gonna have to find a spot. I might have to do a different official server. Um, Not like there's not plenty to choose from, so I can see if I can find a spot. I don't need a very big spot because I'm not going to build a very long base. It's going to be pretty small in size, but it will have multiple floors so that I'm able to have the space I need. But yep. All right, guys, I'm going to um, do some uh, more scouting on these for a base location, either on this server or another one. And I will be back. And when I come back, I will have I found a spot, and we will start building our base. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.